The daily gambling game show that takes betting seriously, but not much else. Get our favorite plays on the totals, sides, props, exotics, and futures to jump on now.
So let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Så att kursen känner konstnärer kom så felino. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben.
Hey, what's going on? Let's get it started. Indeed, I am Jason, pumping this out on Twitter. That is Ben. We appreciate you guys listening wherever you're listening or watching these days. YouTube, here on Twitter. We got the Apple Podcast. We got Spotify. We've got more to come. We're trying to be as available as possible. And more than anything else, we're trying to make you guys money. And you know what? We're succeeding. If you're new to the show, there's our rundown on the side. First, second, and third down, 3 favorite bets that Ben and I have made since yesterday's show. And I say yesterday because we do this 7 days a week. Fourth and long is really fourth and short, ways to get you guys paid quickly in these games. First 3 innings, first quarter, first half, things like that. And overtime, it's football season, man. We've got football parlays every single day. We also keep track of everything we do here, and we are fully transparent. And did we destroy another NFL window? We did, Beltway Ben. We did. Look, lost the Army bet in college. Guardians, I got a little greedy there. Tried that first 4.5. That's been hit or miss for me. But we were all over this game. We told you early in the week when Seattle was still catching points, Seattle money line and the under were the fundamental tenets to this game, and build everything off of that through the week. And Ben and I did that. And we absolutely crushed it again. We were up over 8 units on Monday Night Football, up over 11 units on this game. It's pretty ridiculous. But guess what? We do this every day, and we've had a tremendous start to the NFL season. And I told you on Sunday when I had a rough one, my first one in a while, that we'd be back with a vengeance. And we have. But Beltway Ben, your Thursday night was absolutely bonkers. The Barner play, let the people know how you broke this game down.
Yeah, I told you guys I like Barner. I liked his receiving yards. I liked his him to score a touchdown. I gave it out as a unit. I didn't kind of say play here. I said I'm playing this regular. Of course, he goes out, catch the fade first drive in. So gets us a nice plus 550 cash, and I was pretty happy with that one just because, again, when you give out a plus 550 play,
yes.
And real quick. Jeff Freeland said never going to doubt Ben again, because he did. He was asking if I had a shingle shot, and no, we were just locked in trying to cash these bets. I like Seattle later in the week. I got them at minus 126. I had Kyler Murray 32 plus passing attempts, that cash without a sweat. So it was a very, very good night. And then Marvin Harrison. We did lose two bets on him. We had the first half bet. We had it by itself. We had it on the parlay, and then we also had a 20 plus yard reception. That ball they threw up to him was 18 yards.
Yes.
I thought I was going to get 20 out of it. So that was unfortunate. We lost that one. But again, I was up a little over 8 units myself yesterday. So can't complain there. We were down. Last week we were at 3 and we're back up to 15. I told you we'd figure it out. I told you we'd get going. Just need more numbers early in the year, especially with how I play things. Jason plays props, but Jason plays more sides than I do. I play a lot of props, and an issue with props early on, you're still trying to figure it out. Numbers and different things like that. You can't overreact to one game. So now that we're 3 weeks in, I feel a little bit better with that.
We also, whenever we make a pick, we go into our super Discord and we register the pick, where we made it, for how much money, why we made it, what the odds are, why we think you should bet it now. It's me, it's Ben, it's Eric Casillas, and we're crushing it. And if you don't believe us, well, then get a 1-day pass and go in there and go in the chat and see what the hell people are saying about how they're doing betting with us. You can get that QR code and find out all the different ways if you want to get involved that way. We launched this show May 21st. We're up 50 units. So there's that. First down, Beltway, Ben.
Yeah, first down here. We will go to Tennessee minus 6.5. Now, the regular spread is 7.5. I'm basically buying a point here, and I'm paying some juice for it. Look at the matchup. Everybody's overreacting to Mississippi State. And look at their big win. That weird Arizona State defense that's horrible, beating them on a play across the middle of the field, a very weird finish. I think Tennessee is still one of the best teams in the country. I'll be honest, and I always am honest when I'm wrong about stuff. I thought Iamaliava was going to be the guy. I thought he was going to be a Heisman. I thought all of these things about him. And then I was a little worried for them when everything went down with his camp wanting more money and him just saying, all right, Heupel saying, all right, you can leave. We'll move on. And they take Aguilar, and Aguilar's been awesome. Like, he's played very good football, and you already have a good run game. You have a strong offensive line, and then the defense. The defense is physical. But a reason I like them here, Heupel will run scores up. Heupel will make statements, especially in these types of games. Mississippi State on the road, 4-15 kick. Everybody's talking about them. They're 3-0, and they've been horrible in the past. If you look, they've been awful. I mean, Vanderbilt has caught them in recent years with a little bit of success they've had. I do think Tennessee blows them out here. I thought it was very odd to find this number, and they're on the road. So that obviously plays a factor in this. And everybody's, I said, buying what Mississippi State has, but go look at that Arizona State game. And I'm going to get to Arizona State in a minute. Arizona State's offense is incredible, but their defense sucks. And that was the reason Mississippi State was able to claw back into that game and win the way they did. So I do think Tennessee handles business. I think this defense pushes Mississippi State around. And I think we see the true Mississippi State here. I like Tennessee minus 6.5.
I like the Houston Cougars tonight in a primetime home spot, and I think they will run up the score, and I think they will push around an Oregon State team that's had a tough go of it. They're 126th in scoring offense and 129th in scoring defense. You're catching a Houston team that's 3-0 coming off a bye with a super explosive offense in a spot where everything sets up really well for them. I'm not buying much about Oregon State. You know, they hung with Oregon in the first half for a while and then got exposed again. I think Houston cashes in, and I want to get this under 14 points for obvious reasons. Second down, Beltway Ben.
Yeah, I didn't know I was going to do this, but here we are.
Okay.
Go through things. You do think, WNBA parlay. Now, we've been screwed on one leg twice, and that's just, it is what it is. But tonight, we're going with another one. And Napheesa Collier, I've already talked about her. We have her 21.5 points. I thought we might be able to steal a point or two getting it early in the week. Well, it turns out she's still at 21.5 at minus 110. So if you want to play that, you can still get it at the same odds. Now, Collier 6+ rebounds, Alyssa Thomas 6+ rebounds. They've both done it in both games in this series. I think they're both going to be on the court a lot. This is a must-win game for both sides. And we can say that about every single playoff game. But when the series is split, things are a little different. We're going to see them play a ton of minutes. And we got overtime last game, but they both would have cleared it without overtime. Collier, 15+ points. She is the second best player in the WNBA. I already talked about why I like her to go over her regular point total. 15 should be no issue for her. Even coming back from injury, she hasn't been amazing scoring. 15+ points has been regular for her. And then A'ja Wilson, 8+ rebounds. Anybody who had her double-double last game, I feel bad for her. She had 9, played like 1 or 2 or 3 minutes in the fourth quarter because of that blowout. I don't think she has an issue getting to 8 rebounds. So we're taking 3 rebounds here, 2 for 6+, 1 for 8, and 15 points for Collier. And I'm going to say I won't do this in the regular season just because there's a lot of blowout potential. There's a lot of, players that don't play maybe their regular minutes. We're in the playoffs now, and both series are 1-1. I feel comfortable taking 3 different rebound props, and then Collier, the second best player in the WNBA, to get us 15 points, which she's done almost automatically in her playoff career and this year.
Excellent. Second down for me, we're going to the Premiership. I'm not on this game early. This is a 10 a.m. kick tomorrow. I'm not really on this game now because I think the odds are going to change. The Cherries have been basically tomorrow. And tomorrow we'll have to talk, Ben, because Mateo's got a doubleheader and it's not close by. So we'll have to figure that out. I'll probably be sitting at a baseball field tomorrow.
Do they have any people on the technical side? Does that field have anybody on the technical side that might be able to set you up somewhere?
I doubt it.
Do they have any tech people down there at the baseball field?
No. At John Carroll High School on a Saturday
Hey,
at 8 a.m.
They should have a tech room in there.
At 8 a.m. on a Saturday. Right? You think? You want to bet on that? Do you want to bet on that? Huh? You take Team IT and I take Team Go to Hell.
Hey, what is it? What is it called? Your service learning hours? Remember we ought to get them? Why don't we? Hey, one of the IT smart kids in there help set you up for one of that episode.
I'm gonna guess that I'll be sitting in my car, doing this on my phone, and I got to try to figure out from the coach when Mateo's pitching because I don't want to miss that. Anywho, Bournemouth at Leeds, full disclosure, I support Leeds. They're my side. I'm not a fanboy about it. And I know how hard it is to win at Ellen Road, and I know the environment there. But I just think the numbers have gotten a little carried away here. Leeds destroyed Wolves. Wolves, for me, is the worst team in the Premiership. I like the way the Cherries are playing. I think they have the better manager. I think they have the better side. I like the way they've played on the road, going back to last season. And I think, unlike in sort of previous iterations where they've got to win 3-2, like, I think this could be a 1-0 game. And I like them to be the side that scores. If you want to play this under 2.5 goals or something like that, I've done that. I get you. I think it might be, again, a 1-0 type game, but I think the Cherries can have some joy running up and down the flanks. I think this lead side is being a little overinflated, and we got to remember, a lot of people thought they'd be relegation fodder, and for good reason, and they might have done better in the transfer window than maybe some thought in real time. But I like Bournemouth's form. I think they've been consistent, and I think they can get us a 1-0 win here on the road. Third down, Beltway Ben.
At third down, we're going to go to an early NFL prop that I like a lot, actually. And I could get it here, and I'll give the book out, whatever. 63.5, you can find it Bet365. I found it this morning, but everywhere else I saw 65.5. I'd still play that, but again, if you can get 63.5,
Value's value.
Absolutely. Now, why do I love this? Well, they're playing the Giants, who, no matter what metric you look at, are awful against the run. Now, they have pass rushers. They can get to the quarterback, but this isn't like a Bills defense where they played solid against the run, but they allow a few big runs, and that kind of hurts them. And it's if you look at yards per carry, it's crazy. Well, they've given up 4 30-plus yard runs. This is a Giants defense that just gives up chunk and chunk and chunk. It's just regularly what they do. Isaiah Pacheco, how was he doing through the first few weeks of the season? Awful. Wasn't doing anything. He gets going once they start giving him the ball this past week. Kareem Hunt, I mean, he's slower, starting to get a little older. He was getting it going when he wanted to. And the Chiefs were kind of playing with their food a little bit. I thought they could have ran earlier in that game. They decide not to.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, they start handing it off in the second half, and they were doing whatever they wanted. Now, Marion Hampton, 19 carries last week for 70 yards. It's this Greg Roman offense. He's going to get his running backs involved, and that was against a Broncos defense. Now you're going to give him this Giants defense. I think they're going to get him going. We're going to see the young rookie really flash, show some speed, because I don't think he's reached his potential anywhere near it yet, or we've seen what they expected from him when they drafted him. They're clearly comfortable using him. 19 carries in a divisional matchup. They know what they have here, so I do like him. With no Najee Harris, he's going to be getting – I would probably play his carries too. I have to look at that number. I might give that out a different day, but I do like his regular rushing yards here, 63.5.
Yeah, I think Chargers are going to have their way with the Giants in that one. I am going to rush running back markets on third down as well, Beltway Ben. I'm giving these out individually because you can't parlay them. They don't let you parlay carries to yards. It's too heavily correlated. So we're going to play them individually, and you have to look around. You're not going to find this at the same book, but if you look around these numbers, you can find them. You just mentioned Pacheco starting to get going last week, but this to me is about if you go back and watch the Pacheco runs, where he got off was running under center with a lead blocker, and I bring that up because with no Nnamdi Madubuike for the Ravens, and with Travis Jones beat up, and with Michael Pierce retired, and with their true two-gap run stuffer Broderick Washington beat up, the Detroit Lions ran 32 times under center in that game for over 210 yards, 6.7 per carry. And that was with a beat-up offensive line. I've got some good friends who used to work with Andy Reid. I'm like, what do you think Andy Reid's going to do? One of these guys was a personnel guy, said, didn't they just sign Taven Bryan off the street? Is he going to play this week? Andy Reid knows. If you know and I know, Andy Reid knows. The Ravens don't have defensive tackles. His quarterback's been running too much, and they've been getting beat up. So I think Pacheco. I also think the Chiefs win this game. I like Chiefs money line, and I think the Chiefs will be burning the clock in the second half and not having Mahomes scramble around and throw balls up for grabs. I think he's the preferable back to Hunt, and if he's going to carry, I think 13, 15 times in this game against what is now a bad Ravens run defense. I think Andy Reid's going to play 12 personnel. He's going to have 2 tight ends on the field. And I think Pacheco goes off in this game. 40 yards at plus money. I like it, like Tony the Tiger. Fourth and short, Beltway, Ben.
Fourth and short, we're going to go to a college football game tonight. TCU, Arizona State over 26.5 at -125. TCU, if you want to look at their defense in a number of different ways, the one area they struggle is against the pass. Now, Arizona State has one of the best wide receivers in the country. They have a great quarterback in Levitt, who they got to stay there. I think they're going to throw all over TCU, but TCU can push right back. And I mentioned Arizona State's defense before. Dillingham is an awesome coach, but we know his offensive background. Their defense has straight up sucked. There's no way around it. They've really been awful. And in that Mississippi State upset, it's because their defense could not get off the field. And even in known passing downs where you have to play deep, you have to play some prevent, they let somebody get past them, get over the top, and score a touchdown in the way they did. So I do think we see a lot of fireworks early in this game, and it's because really both passing offenses. Now, college football, we do later in the second quarter, later in the second quarter, we'll get first down stopping the clock. You always love that with overs, a little different than the NFL there. So I am taking 26.5 just because the number is 27.5 some places, 26.5 some places, 14-13 wouldn't surprise me here. Now, if that's the case, 27.5 loses, 26.5 cashes.
Yeah.
2 field goals and a touchdown, and then 2 touchdowns. That would not surprise me. I've seen it so many times. So I took us down to 26.5, and we're getting that at -125. I think we see passing offenses by both sides really explode here.
Fourth and short for me, I'm going right back to that Houston Cougars game. Again, they're coming off a bye. They're going to be fired up. It's going to be a great atmosphere. They've got a high-octane offense. And I'll just say where it is. Go to Bet Rivers. They've got it priced differently than everybody else. Just there you go. Truth is truth. How have the Beavers started games this year, Beltway, Ben? Well, let's go look at what they've done at the half. They've been down 21-7, 28-0, 20-15, and 17-3. And they haven't faced all murderers row.
Right.
I mean, I could belabor the point, but I'm not going to because we each have, I think we both, do you have double overtime also?
No, just
me, double overtime.
Yeah. You took the game a little bit longer.
Yeah. So that's where I am on this one. Pretty simple. Overtime.
You said simple. I'm trying to keep it pretty simple with the overtime here. I was cooking up something big. I'm like,
yeah, I saw some. That's why I said double overtime, because when we were running through the show, I saw what I thought appeared to be like an 8-leg monstrosity.
No. I think that was the WNBA one I gave out.
Okay.
No, we're only holding it to one overtime. Sometimes you need to send in a double overtime to get what we have to give out.
Yes,
but I do like that concept because I'm going to use double overtime a lot moving forward. Penn State, Tennessee. Listen, sometimes, and I've talked about it, sometimes you want to take these great games and just, you don't need to have money on it. Now there's degenerates here and there, whatever. Sometimes you want to bet it. I get it. I'm not arguing it. But sometimes it's also like, if I don't have an either way, I will sit back and watch a good football game, take notes for the next week, who these teams are playing, and live that way.
Yes.
Not doing it here with Penn State. Listen, I'm not buying Oregon. I'm just not fully buying them. I do think Lanning is an exceptional coach. I think it's going to be a really tough matchup here. When I say I'm not buying them, it's not that I think they're a bad football team or I don't think they're going to make the college football playoff. I think they're set there for the most part. But heading into the whiteout, nobody hates Penn State more than me. I think James Franklin is a joke. You can hear me say it any day of the week. I think he's a choker. Whatever. I'm a Maryland fan. I've had Penn State fans rip me on Twitter a lot. I called it a rivalry. They told me it wasn't a rivalry. Whatever. You guys are a joke and you choke in the big moment. Notre Dame proved that last year. Cash for us as well, but whatever. Penn State on the money line here, though. And sometimes I'll be kicking myself if Penn State loses this because I don't like them and you want to see them lose. You guys had Tim Murray on yesterday, and I was like inches away from giving Penn State out yesterday. And then I heard him talk, and you're like listening to him, and like everything he said's right. I mean, when is it going to happen for James Franklin in these moments? This is an Oregon team. This isn't Ohio State. You know what I'm saying? This isn't Ohio State going to the whiteout. This is an Oregon team that I think is going to be a little shocked. This isn't Northwestern on the road where you give up a 50-yard run at the end of the game to cover their spread. I just don't know that Oregon gets it done here on the road. If this game was in Eugene, we might be having a different conversation. But sure. I do think the whiteout is pretty legit. I'm buying what they have there. And then Tennessee. I talked about Tennessee before. Mississippi State, I think it's a massive misvalue there. I don't know how Tennessee loses this game. They already got that one ugly loss out of the way that they should not have lost. Georgia should have lost that game. Yeah. But we'll see. So I do like Penn State here. I've been going back and forth all week. Was kind of I didn't want to give it out at minus 156. Well, turns out this morning I see it at minus 170 some places. So that's fine. I'll just parlay these two together to get us plus money.
Alrighty. Going bold with We Are Penn State. I'm just going to watch that one. I was hoping that it would get to like Oregon 4.5 or something like that, and I would just back the Ducks, but I think that's a pipe dream for me. All right, I've got overtime and double overtime. We'll start with an NFL parlay. I mean, I think this one kind of speaks for itself. So you've got the Browns against Detroit. Aiden Hutchinson looks like Aiden Hutchinson again. The Browns have offensive line issues. Joe Flacco can't move. They just want to run the ball. The Ravens were hanging 40 on everybody. They made Lamar Jackson look pretty average in the second half. I think that defense still has some bite. Maybe it's a letdown spot for them. But the Browns don't have explosives. I mean, it's 10-yarders in the seam to Njoku and the other tight end. I don't see them getting to 21. The Titans just want to kick field goals. Like the Titans have attempted like 17 field goals in 3 games. Like Sly's already made 10 field goals.
Yeah, I know.
They don't even get in the red zone. Now Callahan's not calling plays anymore, which I guess that's got to be a positive. But who else on his staff besides his daddy knows what they're doing? Houston's defense is top 5. And Houston, look, I think that's a dead field goal game. I'll have a prop on that probably tomorrow. And then the Giants, Chargers, top 5 defense. Chargers on the road since the start of last year. Beltway Ben have played 10 road games. They've allowed 6 offensive touchdowns in the first half. Jackson Dart going up against that. Chargers are best in the NFL, road defense first half, points per drive, touchdown percentage, offensive touchdowns allowed. I don't think the Giants get to 21 on them. Maybe the kid throws one in garbage time. But Harbaugh's got that defense, and Jesse Minter have that defense playing exceptionally well. I think you're going to need touchdowns and not just field goals to get those numbers, and I don't fancy those teams to score touchdowns. Now, could I get screwed on special teams? That's your old, like somebody. A pick six?
Yeah.
A punt return? Yep, I could. That's gambling. Double overtime. We were on this match early in the week. I've done more work on it. I've played it a bunch of different ways. And I want to get back on my guys from Munich. Now, we were told it's not Die Bundesliga. Karl-Heinz Rummenigge. Sebastian Schweinsteiger. You're telling me it's not Die Bundesliga? We got an email saying it's Durable. What did they say it was? Do you remember?
D.
I'm going to call it Die Bundesliga. It's D-I-E. D Bundesliga?
Like rhyme with tree, yeah.
I'm sticking with Die because Die is working for I. And I am making you money. All right, look, it's Bayern against
D.
Bremen.
Yeah, I think D.
It's D?
Yeah, D rhymes, yeah. Because it rhymes.
Die. Until if I go in a slump, it'll become D. For now, it's Die.
He's pretty adamant about it. He said he loves catching the bets, but he did want the pronunciation.
Well, we all have across the bear. So you want to catch the bets, you got to listen to me say Die Bundesliga.
D, yeah, D.
Yeah.
I'll say right for him if that's what he wants. D
so
Bundesliga.
Look, Munich is destroying the league. They've scored 18. They've conceded like 3. Bremen does not look very good. I know Champions League is looming next week, but this match is today on a Friday. That gives Bayern more time, and I think that means we get at least a half out of Harry Kane, which is probably good for 2 goals at this point. Bayern's been starting matches ferociously, but they do when they get a big lead. You want to bet this both teams to score. I think the Hoffenheim match last week. I do think they probably concede one in the second half, but I believe Bayern's good for at least 2 goals, and maybe they concede one early. So I like that range in the first half between 2 and 4. I think Bayern bosses the first half, and they're not going to lose this game. And I think they win this match by at least 2 goals. If we got a 4-1 scoreline like the Hoffenheim game over the weekend, would not surprise me at all. If you're with us early in the week and you're on the Discord, we jumped this over 3.5 goals and over 4.5 goals. That's some pretty good plus money on the 4.5 at the start of the week. I told you that'd be gone by Friday, and it is. Again, this match kicks off around 2:45 Eastern time. All right, I got to go eat a turkey meatloaf sandwich. You like turkey? You like meatloaf sandwiches? You mess with that? I think only people who get shingle shots really like meatloaf. turkey
I'm not a
meatloaf,
big meatloaf guy.
on a potato roll, Beltway Ben, with just old school yellow mustard. When that was in my
Yeah, no,
lunchbox, when I opened up my lunchbox with all the AFC team logos on it, and I
Did you?
pulled
Yeah,
out
I
my
had one of
thermos,
those.
pulled out my thermos that probably had some SpaghettiOs in it, and I looked to see what the sandwich was, and it was turkey meatloaf, or it was tuna. That was a winning day.
I was a Lunchable guy.
See, that stuff didn't even exist back in the day. My kids loved the Lunchables.
Lunchables are good. Very good.
That was a winning day. Kind of like you could, if you don't mind putting it up, kind of like the 11 units we made for everybody last night on that football game. Ben, and what about the 8 units we made for them on Monday Night Football? Yeah, that's happened. It's documented. Go back and rewatch the shows or listen on Spotify or listen on Apple Podcasts. It's all there. Subscribe on YouTube. You'll know when we go live. I'm pretty sure you can subscribe at Jason Logan 4. You'll know when we go live. That's what we've done since May 21st there. Those numbers in green. There you go. You want to get all that bets in real time? They're on the Super Discord. Beltway Ben, I don't know. Like,
are you going to talk to the IT guys or not? That's my question.
there's no IT guys there. I got to get him there at 8 o'clock in the morning. You know how it is.
I think
for the
the
9
viewers are
o'clock,
wondering.
for the 9 o'clock
Listen,
game.
Leave a comment if you want to see Jason help
Do you
somebody
want
get
to
service
do it
learning
at
hours.
8:30 to be safe? Because I don't know how to do this. I don't know if he's going to start the game, if he's going to
8:30?
come in as a reliever.
Oh, true. Why don't we play by ear? Everybody knows it'll be up between. I mean, he's not pitching
Because
both
they've
games,
got back-to-back games. They've got a
Right.
game like 9 to 11, and then quick turnaround, and then they're supposed to have another one like 11:30 to 1:30. And between games, I got to like get them fed and stuff, so that's not good. Before games is going to be too early.
Yeah, 8:30. I don't know.
No, I know. So
I mean, I'm a bulldog, but that's
I know. I mean, should we just say?
Why don't
Should
you
we
just-
want to just try 10:30? Is that? Want to just shoot for that?
we could try that. But the viewers, listen, we're giving you the bets, and these shows you don't pay for these shows, so be ready for
No,
adjustments.
we pay for these shows.
We do. Be ready for adjustments. We're shooting for what 10:30.
We'll
But
say that. It
if
could be
Sharky's
like
out there throwing a gem,
right.
yeah,
Yeah, right.
Right.
I'll be
So,
texting you. We'll let the people know.
adjustments.
It's like
Adjustments.
Quinny
Oh,
P.
God. Can't
Sometimes
see-
he gets
can't
scratched.
escape it.
Sometimes he gets scratched 90 minutes
He's
before
pitching
start.
today.
He's pitching
pitching
today.
today.
Am I on it in the Discord? Maybe.
Why don't you give it out here?
Because
So
baseball's
confident in
janky.
that bum.
Because baseball's
yeah,
janky.
yeah.
What are they
Baseball,
really
not the
playing for?
throwers.
The 1 seed, kind of,
Yes.
but do they? I mean,
know
19
Frozen
straight
team when I
money
see one.
line cashes.
know Frozen
19
team when I see
straight
one.
money line cashes. Nobody wants to see this guy in October. You
I think
don't
the
want
entire
none of
MLB
this.
would actually prefer.
Quinny
that. I think the whole
P.
MLB
Quinny P.
fraudulent one seed
Quinny
of all time.
P. Cash for me. All right, that's the show. We're thinking 10:30 tomorrow. You want to bet, we want to bet. Nobody's making money for you like us, so come bet with us.